Okay, so walk us through this real quickly. Animal goes to processor.
Mhm.
Meat comes out of processor to you
Yes.
and gets
Yep.
packaged by you and mailed by
Yeah.
you.
So what we'll do on these bundles, so the livestock goes to the processor, and then we actually pick the meat up, and then we create bundles. We have a few that are going to be kind of focused on families. So there will be, your steaks and your roasts, and some hamburger as well. And so then those bundles, we will, depending on where the customers are coming from, either, have a day where I'm out making deliveries, or we will be shipping those. It just kind of depends on where people are coming from. But we will have those packaged individually, really pushing the logos and the branding, and making sure that that sticks with them as well.
Yeah, as Scott said, we don't have a department for that, right? You don't have the shipping
Right.
department and the
Yep.
packaging department.
Yep. You do it all.
Oh my gosh, Scott, who does it at your place? How does all that happen?
Yeah. So um, how it works is we send it to processor, which is a long ways away. He processes it. We bought a 20-foot freezer box truck. Um, I could tell you some stories about the first couple times we brought meat back. Oh man, it just packing it into a freezer in the back of a pickup, all that stuff. But now we have a 20-foot box truck that's a freezer truck. So I'll take one of my guys that would normally be farming or fixing fence. He jumps in that box truck. He heads over, picks it up, drives back to Rapid City, South Dakota. It goes. All of our meat is stored there in a warehouse with a big freezer. A 100,000 square foot freezer or something like that. 50,000 square foot freezer. So everything's stored there. And then on his way by, he'll drop meat off. We have a freezer truck sitting in Sioux Falls at my brother-in-law's place. So he delivers around Sioux Falls for us. And then we also drop off meat here at our place. We have a lot of freezers at our place where we keep all of our local restaurants and grocery stores. We actually, right now, this is what I'm saying, we're not very efficient. This is what's going on right now. But then as far as the shipping thing goes, so meat gets there, get inventory of it. Then we have all of our boxes are pre-designed. So they fit our box size. So whatever, like an average box for us, well, we got everything now. We started out, we only had 3 boxes. Now I think we have like 50 different boxes. So whether that's just a 10-pound burger box, whether that's a steak box, whether that's a mixed box, our customers pick that. Then they order whatever they order on Friday. It ships out on Monday. FedEx picks it up Monday afternoon, and we ship it express direct to your door, no matter whether you're in. I've had weeks where a package I ship to myself, it takes 2 days to get to me, and then we'll ship one to Washington State, and it gets there before mine gets there. So you just never know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's how it works. So Richie out there, he packs it in a box, puts it in dry ice. FedEx guy grabs it and heads out. So it's been a heck of a learning curve, I can tell you that. So
Lessons learned, Callie, if you had it to do all over again, what did you wish you knew that you know now?
Oh, I wish we knew a layout of our property a little better. So the acreage that we bought was actually an old hog farm. So just converting all of those fences to, not only, they were up to my hip, to keep sows in. So tearing out all of the fences, we just simply replaced the fences where they were already, and made them into our continuous fence. And then we designed an alley and a cattle working area on our property. Here comes our first spring at our place, and we realized exactly where we put the chute is where all the water runs to.
Oh.
So it may have looked great, but come spring, it wasn't usable. So we learned that mud is very expensive, because that year it was so muddy enough that we actually weren't even able to AI cows in there. It was just, they were going to be working harder than they needed to be. So it wasn't going to be sustainable. So we purchased a portable corral, and we worked cows in our driveway because that was the only solid ground. So the biggest lesson learned was that we maybe got a little too eager, ripping fences out and replacing things right away before we knew how to properly utilize this place. We have been here going on 6 years now this winter. And so we know where things need to be now. We have our goals of where, the next calving shed will be or the next working facility. But that was definitely one of the biggest lessons we learned is how do we utilize what is here? What can we keep? A lot of these hog barns, they're great for calf shelters. So, you couldn't use them for calving necessarily for the cows themselves, but we could move them around the property. And being married to a mason, he can, put those buildings up on blocks and then you can let some heifers in there. So, yeah, just kind of figuring out what works best for us and on this space that we have.
Wow. Scott, lessons learned? What did you wish you
So,
know?
lesson-
Go ahead. Okay. So you're breaking up a little bit, Scott. What lessons did you learn that you wish you knew at the beginning? Start that all over again.
Can you hear me better now?
Yep, sounds great.
Yep. So I probably went a little overkill on my fences, especially on my first unit that I fenced. I didn't need to get as aggressive, wasn't super efficient with my dollars there. But then as far as the online deal, I asked a lot of advice, but people don't always want to just give you a lot of advice on a competitive meat company that's doing the exact same they want to do. So I should have asked around a lot more before we pulled the trigger on ordering 1,000 of each size of the boxes that I ordered. That wasn't even the style box I should have been using, all that stuff, I don't know if there's anyone you can hire to do that stuff. I think there is now, but I should have looked more into that rather than just, well, I'll figure it out. That's definitely one of the things. But people talk a lot, and a lot of times you just got to go. You just got to do it. Whether it's right or wrong, you'll figure it out. So
I'm going to take questions in the question and answer box if folks want to type those in. But you both must be pretty uplifted, I'm going to say, by that announcement for the ramen place in Belle Fourche. I don't know if you heard that. This ramen noodle plant is going to locate in Belle Fourche because of the difficulty they're having with transportation from overseas. And I thought, boy, there's a testimony for local foods right there. What do you think, Callie? Is that did that strike you as being kind of the same thing?
It did, yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting. It kind of caught me off guard a little bit as I did not see that coming to Belle Fourche of all places. But it is reassuring, that our economy is there and that the demand is there and that, maybe we have the workers that want to be doing this. So, it was just very reassuring that this can only help us across the board.
Yeah, people get used to buying this locally raised, locally grown, locally
Knowing where it
processed.
comes from. Yep, knowing where it comes from, maybe having a family tie to it because I don't know how many employees they plan to hire there, but surely South Dakota isn't that big. We'll know somebody that works there or be related to somebody that works there, and that just makes it 10 times better.
Yeah, I wonder where those employees are going to come from. Scott, you have any trouble getting employees?
Oh yeah, you can say that again. We hire, quite a few guys. We do have H2A workers on our farm side of things, but on our meat side of things and the bison side of things, it's just me and one other guy, for on our ranch. But the meat side of things, we're hoping to hire all kinds of people. Right now, we're not at that level, but yeah, I saw that move in to Belle, and now it's really intriguing. And that's one thing I haven't even talked about. Our 30,000 foot view of Dakota Pure is really to put Americans back to work. And people buying locally raised products by using as many American hands as possible. All of our merchandise is made in USA. We really don't buy stuff unless it's made in the USA. And everybody needs to be doing that. I don't think that Walmart and Amazon and these companies, I don't think they have the same values as we do. Believe it or not, I got my mom and my wife to quit buying from Amazon. So I just tell them, like, well, if you can't get it somewhere else, you probably don't need it. So we try to buy local grocery stores, buy made in USA as much as possible. And that's what everyone else needs to be doing too. You know, to incentivize these companies to move back to America. You know, they're in the late 80s and 90s. We just got sold out. And that's what we're focusing on. So.
Well, I think we might have the bison end of the market cornered here, which would be great, and maybe maybe do a little more export from South Dakota of processed food. Callie, what's your big vision, Callie? Where's all this going for you? Put us 10 years from now.
10 years from now, it's kind of what I mentioned earlier, is we're looking to expand, looking to purchase more ground, not only pastures, but close to home to make it efficient. So to expand on the ground, expand on livestock. We had a great opportunity last December. One of our family friends was having their dispersal. It's from, I'm sure some people tuning in would know, it's Hugh Engel Centennial Angus Ranch, so located out near Faith. The man is 91, I think going on 92, still running 50 cows, but we knew this dispersal was coming and we were kind of saving up and culling cows, getting ready for this. And so we have really expanded on the genetics at our place.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking to, you know, retain heifers out of these cows that we were able to buy and just continue growing at a high quality rate, not just growing in numbers. So that's one of the bigger goals. And then with just kickstarting this meat business that we're doing, you know, hopefully seeing that expand. Like I said, we really enjoy the nutrition side of things, of feeding cattle and seeing, you know, how they perform. So working towards more goals there on the carcass data. And also just being able to raise our boys here. We want it to hopefully be something that, you know, if one of them or both of them would like to expand or continue, we want it to at least be an option for them.
So what about employees? Are you going to be looking for employees to run the boxes around the delivery boxes?
That's what we joke. If we won the lottery, we'd get a hired man. You know, someday down the road, that would be great. But as of right now, we, because we stay within South Dakota for customers, it's something that I'm willing to take on the responsibilities for. So I'll handle deliveries. You know, it's a family atmosphere of packaging items. And we're very fortunate that most of our customers are fairly close to the Mitchell area for now. So that's something that maybe down the road, you know, we bring in either a hired hand, or I'm fortunate to have married into a very large family. And I think some of them would enjoy helping. So
somebody in that family needs a job, right?
They need a job, and they get a kid. They're not, they don't all have agricultural backgrounds. So they think this is just an amazing experience when they come to the ranch.
It sounds like you've got some values very well carved out. How about that? The quality of the carcass, the quality of the meat is really way up on your list, right? And
Yes.
So is this personal contact.
It is. So, you know, knowing where your beef comes from is one thing, but I think working for certified Angus beef is really what kickstarted that, is having that consistent high quality product for consumers. So that's extremely important to me. And then also, you know, the husbandry of our place, how the livestock are handled, the facilities that we have, you know, who is around when we are handling livestock, where we take them to get processed. That's a big part of it too. It can't just be, you know, where you can get in. You want it to be a place that you have a great relationship with, and you know that things are done on a professional basis.
Yeah.